so warm that I go outside in t-shirts on. I never dreamed that I would be able to harvest food in December. I have potatoes growing in here and lots of fresh tea. Mint, it smells amazing. I make my own fresh garden tea. It's just so absolutely amazing. All of the things you can do when you homestead. Going back to the 1930s and 40s, I've learned so much through just all of the research and just trying to make my life an example of like what theirs was. It was the best of times and it was the worst. But I'm realizing how much more frugal I can be. I'm using up things that a lot of people would discard. Little bits and pieces of wood is heating my home 100% free. All of the wash on the line. Even when it's cloudy, I'm still able to dry all of my laundry because we have a lot of good breeze. It helped me in tangible ways to be more self-sufficient and, most important, to be more content. Our homestead has taken on a whole new look. Large solar panels in the front, wood burning, and a very, very large garden. All right, I'm gonna go check out the greenhouse. Do that quick. It's hard to believe. Stuff is still growing. Okay, let's make things more secure. There might be some wild cats that come in here, I believe, to stay warm from the cold. We do have a bunch of farm cats around. Okay, it looks so much better. Okay, we'll see what happens. Now we're going to the warm house. I'll let the wash out for at least another hour or two. Woohoo! I finished the work on day 1, and now we move on to day 2. Just around the house and things that I do every day to save money and to live more self-sufficient. One of the things I'm doing now is I am making all of my own homemade breads, rolls, hamburger rolls, everything, and it is absolutely so delicious, this recipe that I've been sharing with you. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to share with you in the description box and above the link to making the 1944 bread. It's amazing. I thought I would share with you a little bit about how the Homemaker's Radio has really transformed me and really changed my way of thinking. So let's talk a little bit about it. You've been seeing it quite often in my videos. And what impact has it had on me with all of my vintage books that I have been reading and studying and learning from? This is the time of year where a lot of people think about having to save money. Now, of course, the holiday season this year, I do believe people did not spend as much as what maybe they were used to. At least it seems that way in the circle of people that I know. Now, that's just simply because everything has been just so terribly expensive. There's only so much a person can buy. But now is the time of the year, especially for me, where I try to save as much as I possibly can. Now, these are my low months. So when you're in social media, January, February, March, April are extremely low. And then it picks up a little bit again in the summertime. But this year, my low months have been ever since the whole year pretty much. So I have been used to having a lot less income than what I did previous years. Back a couple years ago when we had the stimulus checks, that really helped content creators out, because when people had the stimulus checks, people were spending more money, which, you know, that didn't last very long, of course. But now we're trying to save money, and I said all of that to say that with reading the Great Depression books that I have been reading and really studying, I feel like I'm encouraged and inspired because they literally had nothing. So on days when I feel like I have nothing, I have a lot compared to what they did. And so I'm reading about them, and it's so much fun because you can get ideas, and plus it makes you feel inspired. And all of this is free on the internet, and it's the Internet Archives. You can download it, you can print it out, you can make copies of it. It's amazing because it's free for everyone, because the statute of limitations, there is no copyright on most of that. So it's really nice to be able to use this and to just be able to learn from it. I'm sure everyone back in the Great Depression would say, if they could teach somebody to learn something, it would have made it so much easier for them. And to think that people like me are being taught so much, so many years later, you know, it really inspires me and encourages me. That's why I'm going to keep doing that. So my internet radio, Homemaker's Radio, is going to be somewhat integrated in some of my videos because I'm actually doing the things that I'm reading about. So the difference is I'm not just sitting there reading these bulletins. I'm actually doing it, showing you. And it has really changed my life because it changed my way of thinking, as far as it wasn't now something I grudgingly do. It's something that I can maybe find some joy in doing it because I feel like I'm learning through it all, if that makes any sense. So I think that if we see things as an opportunity to learn and grow from, it can make our situations so much easier. We're in this situation anyhow. We might as well try to make the best of it that we can. Well, everyone, thank you guys so much for spending the 2 days with me. The rolls turned out amazing. It is a great recipe. And to think about that it is a very old recipe, that women from all over the world were making these rolls back in 1944. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.